Guys, what's going on, and welcome to a brand new video. In this video today, it's gonna be a little news video about Daniel Farke, because there has been news come out by the Daily Mail that Daniel Farke could be sacked before the season starts in the Premier League, a day after promotion. This is what I don't like, this stuff coming out a day after promotion. Now you got to take everything that's said with a pinch of salt, because we don't know how true it is. It could be complete BS. The Daily Mail have got things right before, so they're not like it's not like a terrible source that's just like clickbait everything. They do get things right. But we have to take everything with a pinch of salt before it comes out to the actual journalists, you know, the ones at Leeds and the ones that know more about the club. You've got to take everything you hear and see with a pinch of salt, because we are going to get linked with players. We are going to get news like this, and most of it is probably going to be a bunch of BS. Let's be real. But there is something I want to talk about with this after I go through what was said. If we can get that up quickly right here. Here we go. This is what was said on the Daily Mail, basically. Let me actually get this up. You guys can see this. I'm pretty sure that you're watching the video. Yes, you guys can. I have to just check. Sorry, boys. Yeah. Farke is arguably the most successful manager in the history of the Championship, which is true, having led both Norwich City twice and Leeds United to promotion. His 3 full seasons in the second tier have seen him record point tallies of 94, 97, and 90. With Leeds currently, he's on 94 with 2 games remaining. So he could get his best points tally in the Championship. And I think he will, because I think we're going to win both games. So Farke might get his best points tally, which if we win both games, what's that, 100? Yeah, it's 100, right? Yeah, it's 100. So we'll finish on 100 points. And with 2 games to play. However, his Premier League performances in East Anglia is known to have triggered some thoughts amongst the Yorkshire clubs, US-based owners, the 49ers, because, of course, but that Norwich team, we'll talk about that once we finish reading them, we'll talk about that. I mean, I've already said this, the Norwich team, the first time they spent like 9 million or whatever, and the other time they spent 30 million, but sold their best player for basically 30 million, so basically all they did was replace, only spend money because they sold him. That's the only reason they spent that much money, which is ridiculous. Spending 30 million only and 9 million. Like, it's ridiculous. Farke never got an actual chance in the Premier League, in my opinion. In his first top flight season, the Canaries finished bottom with 21 points, 14 from safety, and he was sacked in early November of his second season. With his side 5 points. With his side on 5 points after 11 matches. Is that all that was said? Might be all that was said. Oh no, here we go. Leeds are unlikely to pull the trigger Let me pause this. Leeds are unlikely to pull the trigger unless they have a replacement lined up that they firmly believe will be a success, and that is far from a foregone conclusion. Should they head down that route, and should a potential replacement get off to a poor start, the atmosphere could plummet quickly, which is true. Like, if you do replace Farke and it doesn't go right and we get relegated, everyone's gonna be like, why the hell didn't we give Farke a chance? We should have just gave him a chance. Like, what would have been the problem? We got relegated anyway. That's what everyone would be saying. Farke or whomever is in charge will face a complex situation as they seek to build a squad capable of a top flight survival with an output up beyond the 107 million Ipswich spent, expected to be needed given the growth gulf between the two competitions. Because, as I said, the Premier League and the Championship every season just gets bigger. Amounts are evaluated over a 3-year period, and given that Leeds will be recorded as in the Championship for 2 of those, with the reduced revenue that brings, players will need to be sold. Whether takers can be found at the right price remains to be seen. The club are also seeking to expand Ellen Road. That's another thing that's massive, like the expansion of Ellen Road and all that. Because that's another reason why the 49ers, I could see them being like, do we get rid of Farke and bring in someone who's proven in the Premier League, but then who is out there that's proven in the Premier League that they can stay up? Like, who is out there generally that you believe 100% will keep us up? Because I do understand, because we need to stay in the Premier League so they can build they increase the stadium and they can build it. We have to stay in the Premier League. Money spent on infrastructure from the PSR calculations. Names such as Jose Mourinho have previously been linked with the job, which, yeah, that's probably been a link with the job, like, that I've seen mostly. But I would take Jose Mourinho, but I'll get into it. Although there is a keenness to find a lesser known name, should bosses land on making a change following the success of Areola at Bournemouth. Yeah, I mean Areola is doing wonders at Bournemouth. Indeed, have appointing Farke. Leeds were blocked by Vallecano after making an approach for Areola. Oh, we actually tried to, yeah, I forgot that. We tried to get Areola. I mean, we tried to get a bunch of them, didn't we? We tried to get Areola at one time. We tried to get Slot at one time. I mean, to be honest, we tried to get a couple of them that are all doing very well now, and that's the thing. That's all of it. So yeah, but my opinion on this, if I could make my opinion very clear on this, Farke should be given a chance because I think it's very unfair. Now, I am a sentimental person as like a football fan. Like I like players that have shown loyalty. That's why I like Bamford. I like the old guard. You know, I like Bamford. I like Kulik. I like Cooper. I like Dallas. I like the old guard as they called them. I like those type of players. I'm that kind of person that if you're here for a long time, I respect you and I support you because you've shown respect in the club and stayed at the club. Daniel Farke has 2 seasons above 90 points. Deserves 100% deserves a chance in the Premier League, in my opinion. Now, how many games do you give him? I don't think you can actually say a basis of how many games you give him. For me, probably 5 to 10 will be probably how much we'll give him to see where we're at. But for me, I know points are everything. Like points keep you up and everything, but it's also performances. So if we are in the relegation zone, but say after 5 games we're in the relegation zone, but we're like 4 points behind the team that are 17th. Say that, but we're playing football that is good, and we can see there's points that are going to be won. Like we get unlucky in a lot of games. You know, we start getting a bit unlucky in games. I'm like, okay, keep him. But I think it's based off performances and points. Like you have to put them together. Of if we're performing well, and getting points, and because it's going to be a tough season, and we're going to be near the bottom the entire season, in my opinion. We're going to be right down there. But I think Farke deserves that chance. How many games you give him? As I said, I say 5 to 10. But then it depends. It all depends on results and the score lines and stuff like that. But I do think Farke deserves the chance in the Premier League. Yeah, it's a hard one for me because when you say like because of what he's done for Leeds United in the last 2 seasons and the way he's built the squad twice. I mean, when we got relegated, that squad was a mess. Let's not forget that squad was an absolute mess when we got relegated. And then he built the squad. He sought players' issues out like Nonto and Somerville at the time. Yeah, he sought them out because I'm pretty sure Somerville was like a similar one to Nonto, but he came back early. So he didn't get as much as Nonto did because he actually came back into training and Nonto didn't want to, or something. It was something like that. I don't remember. It was a while ago. But he sought that out. Look at Nonto now. He's playing for the club now. He was in the starting 11 recently. You know, he's actually, and he sought, not only that, you go from that season where we were absolute mess. We were an absolute mess, and we had Jamie Shackleton. No offense, Jamie Shackleton, but Jamie Shackleton starting on the wing in the Championship. We had him starting on the wing, and then you go from that. We probably should have got promoted, but we fell off at the end against 2 teams that did very well and got very high points. Yeah, and then right after that, we lose our 3 best players, all gone in Gray, Archie Gray, Somerville, and Rutter. We lose our 3 best players that season. 3 of our best players that season. Probably our best players. Yeah, our best players that season. And then look, the squad he's put together this season. He brings in Tanaka. Look how great he is. He brings in Rothwell as our 4th choice, and then he had to start because we got an injury to Grove and Ampadu. And look how great that partnership was between Tanaka and Grove. He brought in Jayden Bogle from Sheffield United, weakened them and made us strengthen. And people said he couldn't defend. I mean, probably the best right back in the Championship. And then you look at, we brought in Solomon, and as I said, the team we have actually built both seasons. Farke's done a great job with these players for both seasons, bringing in the squad, especially that first season when it was a complete mess, but getting them all together and building our way back to the Premier League the way we have. And the 49ers need to get credit for that as well with the players we signed, the quality that we signed, how everyone we signed besides 1 or 2 players has actually worked out very well, which is why I'm like, well, Farke and the 49ers, the 49ers have signed these players and they've all worked out very well. But Farke's managed these players. He's managed them to work out as well as they have, which is incredible in my opinion, and is the reason why I will keep Farke in the Premier League and give him a chance. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I sack Farke because I know there are people out there that just don't think Farke's a good manager, which is wild to me. That's wild to me. Do you say sack Farke or do you say give him a chance because he deserves it? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.